So welcome on stage Toastmaster Jim with his speech title, Trust Life. Trust Life, Toastmaster Jim.
Thank you so much. Life is full of surprises. Like that one right there. You can start the timer. Life is full of surprises. For me, that means just to trust life. What that means is to realize that most things work out most of the time. That couldn't be more true than on my 5th wedding anniversary. And the Turkish coast along the Mediterranean Sea is some of the most beautiful in the world. Ranks very close to Vietnam's coastline, I think. But the coastline, imagine if you will, is these white sandy beaches that are nestled and hidden in between rugged, jagged rocks with beautiful trees, lush forests, and crystal clear turquoise blue water. On a clear day, you can see easily down 10 meters. Actually, that does sound a lot like Vietnam coast, doesn't it? Well, Jan Race and I decided to take a boat tour because it was a very popular thing to do in southern Turkey along the Mediterranean Sea. So for our anniversary, we booked a hotel in the little town called Fethiye, which is known for these beautiful tours. And we went there, and the morning of the tour, a bus came and picked us up. We onboarded about 20 other passengers, and we went to the beach where the boats were. And there were boats lined along the beach to take the tours. Now, we booked our tour online. We didn't look at anything beforehand. We read about this great place. Jan Race found this wonderful place called Butterfly Cove, which was this beautiful, majestic place described online. We're going to go to a boat that has plenty of stops for snorkeling and swimming and beaches, and of course, Butterfly Cove. We wanted to check that out. So we booked the tour. They picked us up. They took us to the beach. There's all these boats lined up. Our boat was really sensible. It had 2 decks, room for about 100 passengers, and it seemed like it was mostly young adults, couples, and families with young children. We thought this will be great. This will be a fantastic boat trip. It'll be awesome. And our first stop was this Butterfly Cove. Now, Butterfly Cove has canyon walls 350 to 400 meters high. Beautiful flora and fauna, and it's said that there are over 100 species of butterflies. The cove comes into this big V shape, and in the back of the cove, there's a waterfall that's supposed to fall down from a natural spring inside. The captain told us we had 60 minutes, plenty of time. The hike to the waterfall and back was an easy 45 minutes. That's plenty of time to go see it. So Jan Race and I got our gear together. We went ashore. We started hiking through the forest, looking for the butterflies. The walls kept getting narrower and narrower and narrower and narrower. And you know what they forgot to tell us in the brochure when we read it online? There are no butterflies in September in Butterfly Valley. We missed them all. We didn't see one butterfly. We still have the waterfall. So the valley's getting narrower. We have to climb up rocks. We're expecting this beautiful waterfall that comes out of a spring 100 meters above the valley floor. It had been really hot and dry that summer in Turkey, and there was no waterfall, just a little trickle coming down the rocks. Once again, we got stuck. And because we had to climb up these rocks, there were a lot of people could stand at the top, but the trail in and out was very narrow, and there was no way to pass each other, so it was single file all the way out. Well, after Jan Race and I stood there for many seconds and enjoyed the trickle of water, we decided we should turn around and leave, and we got stuck behind a big group of people that had mostly elderly and children, and they were moving very slowly. As we're hiking out, thinking, okay, we might not make it to the beach, we heard the ship's horn. I looked at her and she looked at me. That wasn't our ship, was it? No, of course not. That's what any guy would say just to make his wife feel better. We get to the beach and the trees opened up and we walked out there, and there is no boat. Our boat left us. The panic that I felt. Jan Race had this look in her eyes. Her big, round, beautiful eyes were even bigger and rounder and maybe more beautiful than they normally are. But what were we going to do? Finally, I had a revelation. There was a pirate boat sitting there that pulled in right next to our boat. Now, part of the tour system in Turkey is this nice, sensible boat that we got on, but there's also the pirate boat. And the pirate boat is the most god-awful thing you've ever seen. The pirate boat that was on shore had big pirate flags. It had big pirate fake cannons. It even had this giant octopus on the back with a big mouth that the passengers got on and board off on. It was the epitome of what I would call a tourist trap. But our boat was gone, and this pirate ship was right there. I looked at Jeremy and I said, let's just get on the pirate ship. They will never know that we don't belong there. So that's exactly what we did. We got on the pirate ship. We went up to the third deck. We got seats. We kept our heads down. No one said a word. We left the Butterfly Valley, the Butterfly Cove, and we went to a snorkeling area. It was really fun. We snorkeled. We had a good time. They called us back on the boat for lunch, and they said, those of you who are having fish have a blue card. Those of you who are having beef have the red card. And when we call you up, come on up and go through the line. Janice and I snuck on this boat. We didn't have blue or red, and we're vegetarians. Where's the green card? So we thought, man, we'll just skip lunch. Even though this is a full day tour, we'll be starving by the end of the day. So, another revelation. Let me go talk to somebody. I'll tell them that I lost my card, and maybe they'll give us another one. So I went up to a crew member and I said, hey, I lost my card. We're vegetarians. And the guy said, oh, no worry, we didn't give cards to vegetarians. You just go up to the line, tell them what you want, and they'll give you as much as you want. Woo! Lunch was great. Right after lunch, this guy climbed up the cliff that was a couple hundred meters high and stood there. It was way above the boat, and he did a little dance and he did a little song. And then he dove off the cliffs, and this big giant Turkish flag flailed behind him as he went over into the water. And everybody lost their minds. It was great. They were screaming and yelling and cheering and having such a great time. And then the dance music started. And if you ever want to have a great time with a bunch of Turkish tourists and international tourists, you play dance music that they know, Turkish pop dance music. Everybody was on their feet. They were singing. They were having a good time. And we had such fun on that boat. At the end of the day, we pulled back to the beach right next to where the boat was that we were supposed to be on, that we were on that morning. And we got off. We kept our heads down. We saw some people on the van that we had taken that morning. We just queued up with them. And no one ever said a word. It was beautiful. And you know what? If we hadn't taken that boat, we wouldn't have had such a great time. It was the best experience that we could have had that day. I see all of you nodding your heads. And it was just another example of when you trust life, you find that most things work out most of the time. Thank you.